So now we're going to get into our lesson learning a bass line that I've crafted using these Pentatonic scales. Now let's build our bass line using the Mixolydian pentatonics. I'm going to cover 4 measures at a time, so follow along with me with your chart. Over the A major chord, beginning on measure number 1, as you see, we have simple quarter note and 8th note rhythms, some 8th note rests. So we begin, we get the open sounding A, 1, and I'll always count the front half and the back half of each beat, 1 and. The back half always being the and. So we get 1 and, rest on the front half of 2, play the open A again on the back half, and. On 3 we rest again, and on the back half we'll play the E, and then going to beat 4 we'll go to the 4 on the second string and finish off by playing that A again, octave, on the second fret on the first string. So measure number 1 will sound like this. 1 and rest and rest and. Going to measure number 2, very similar, we change 1 note. So I'll go over that for you. That's 1 and rest and rest. There we play the E again, F sharp, and resolve on the back half of beat 4 back to E. So that those 2 bars will sound like this together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Measure number 3, very similar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, going to the open first string G, and then resolving on the 4th bar with a simple quarter note walk down from A, G, F sharp, E. So those 4 bars combined will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now going to measure number 5 through 8, we'll go to the D chord with the open sounding D. Again, a very similar rhythm. We'll start on the open D, 1 and rest and D again, rest. Then we're going to go over to the open A on the back half of 3 and get 3 and to the C sharp, 4 and back to the E. So measure 1 will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Measure number 2, very similar. Open D, 1 and 2, D again, and now we're going to the open A, 3 and to the C sharp, 4 and on to the E on the 2nd fret, 2nd string. So that covers 2 bars of the D major chord, and I'll play that together so you can hear it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Going to the A chord now, again on measure number 7, we get the open A, 1 and rest on the front half of 2, A again on the back half, and then on 3, C sharp, and to the E. On 4th, we go to the 4th fret, F sharp, and resolve on the back half of 4 on the A. So that measure will sound like this. Now, mind you, that note, that last note A, is tied to the first quarter note in measure number 8. So measure number 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we continue to count 1 and we just don't strike that note. We just let it ring through beat number 1. Then we have a quarter note walk down from the G again. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So those two measures of A, bars 7 and 8, will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now picking up on the E major chord at measure number 9, we'll have the open sounding E for a quarter note. Again, the same basic rhythm going on here. 1 and, played completely through beat number 1 with a rest on 2, and E again on the back half of 2. Then we're going to go to the G sharp on beat number 3 and get 3 and going to the B, to the C sharp on 4, and back to the E octave on the back half of beat 4. So measure number 1 sounds like this put together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we come back to the D major chord. So the chord exchanges happen a little more frequently here than the previous 8 bars. So we get the D again on beat number 1, rest, D again on the back half of 2, F sharp, A on beat 3, and then to the B on the first string, 4th fret, and back to the A. So over that D major chord will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we go to the A major chord. So these chord changes come at you rather quickly here at the bottom of the chart. Again, same rhythm. Open A, 1 and rest and A again, to the C sharp on beat 3, to the E on the back half of 3, to the F sharp on the front half of 4, and resolving to the A on the first string, 2nd fret. So that measure will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we come back to the E major chord again, and we'll be walking down with just simple 8th note rhythms, starting from E here on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, 1 and to the open D, 2 and to the C sharp, 3 and to the B, 4 and. So now what I'm going to do is just play those last 4 measures starting from the E major chord. Measure 9, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to the D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to the A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to the E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that completes our first lesson using the Mixolydian pentatonics.